meet at last. I am Kargren, son of Volar, of the Klingon House of Kor, slayer of Krenoth, and of the IKS Nima. Today I offer you to join forces and embark on a mission of paramount importance. It appears that the president of the Federation, a Saurian by the name of Okeg, has requested to enter into negotiations with the Empire. He wishes to establish a ceasefire between our people. It is true that the Undine infiltration puts both parties at risk, and as the great Kailash once said, destroying an empire to win a war is no victory, and ending a battle to save an empire is no defeat. To facilitate these plans, we have been tasked with granting safe passage to the President's starship on his journey to Khitomer. I will be waiting for you in the system, together with Captain Sean, a Starfleet officer hailing from the ill-fated Vega colony. Tik-tak, Ushna, Tulu, or real power is in the...
This is President Okeg aboard Starfleet 1. Remember, this conference is vital to the future of the galaxy.
Captain Sean here. Copy that, Mr. President. Best foot forwards at all times. The crew of the Belfast has been briefed.
Captain Kargren, Klingon Empire Liaison to Okeg, standing by. President, the IKS Nima, is ready to escort you. Well met. We must ensure the President's vessel, Starfleet 1, is within transporter range of the coordinates provided to us by the Defense Force, and receive clearance to beam down to Khitomer. Captain Sean will be assigned to the President upon arrival, and you shall be tasked with securing the premises. I have patched us through to the Chief of Security of the USS Belfast, Lieutenant Morale Paris of Starfleet. This officer of Sean's is a quarter Klingon of heritage, and hopefully, at least twice as much of heart.
Morale Paris, Chief of Security of the USS Belfast, but Lieutenant will do. Nice to meet you. I get the feeling we'll make an excellent team. Ready to get to...
I hope you don't mind me checking in along the way. This meeting is delicate, and I'd like to make sure everyone is prepared.
Glad to have you with us, Mr. President. Any words of wisdom before we arrive?
Khitomer is a key location in the history of our two civilizations, and home to many important meetings.
Do not forget the conspiracy of 2293 and the cowardly assassination of Chancellor Gorkon.
Conspiracies aside, the final outcome was historic, and its gift of peace lasted for generations.
Let's hope for a similar outcome today. Your attendance is as much of a security risk as it is a show of goodwill.
Lieutenant.
It is up to the Federation to take this first critical step. We cannot allow a repeat of Cestus 3.
They're going to Germany!
Sir, sensors are picking up several Gorn vessels in the area. It's an ambush!
Rebel Gorn! So some of them are willing to stand up and fight after all. Ma!
This is okay. Starfleet 1 is under fire. Shields won't hold for long.
Hang tight, Mr. President. We won't let you down.
The Klingon Empire will fall!
If a fight is what they want, then the Belfast is happy to oblige.
No bold moves, Lieutenant. Focus on Starfleet 1.
Disrupt the conference! The Saurians must perish! The ship must fall!
The ranks are thinning. I'm detecting fewer Gorn starships in the system, Captain.
We have bested these Titan pool. They were ready to die just to take out your president in battle.
Starfleet 1, this is the USS Belfast. What's your status? President OK, do you copy?
USS Belfast, IKS Nima. This is the President. We're all right. Just a bit shaken up.
Mr. President, we need to postpone this conference. It's much too great of a risk for you to take. Our scan should have picked up on that ambush.
Postponing this conference is not an option, Captain Sean. This ceasefire deal could be the Federation's only chance to eventually make peace with the Klingon Empire. If that involves some degree of risk, then so be it. The members of my delegation joined this mission informed and ready for the task. However, this tack does beg a question. How exactly did the Gorn hide from our sensors?
The Nima and USS Belfast do not seem to have sustained significant damage. Nothing worth recording in a battle log. These cowardly Gorn attacks were directed at Starfleet 1, and presumably the Federation President. Aside from a few minor fluctuations in deflector harmonics and a brief spike in secondary EPS flow regulators, nothing approaches critical thresholds. The President's ship will hold.
The Belfast will run a scan as well. Something does feel off. Activating long-range sensors and tachyon detection grid. Sensors are clear, sir. No threats detected, masked or otherwise.
Let's resume course before that changes.
Attacking Klingons is one thing, but the Federation? I find the circumstances of this Gorn ambush a little odd.
I agree. The Gorn should have challenged my vessel instead, and fought against one of their Klingon conquerors. Cowards.
The Gorn shouldn't have been able to close in on Starfleet 1. We need to improve our response time.
President Okig, the Klingon Empire acknowledges the arrival of your delegation to Khitomer. Our orbital defense post received reports of a rebel strike within the system, but readings were delayed due to the Gorn's chronoton masking fields. Still, your survival in the face of this unexpected obstacle bodes well. Perhaps you are worthy allies after all. You are clear to beam down.
The Federation is honored to be received on Khitomer. I can assure you that your openness to meeting with us is not misplaced. Our delegation's security escort dealt with the Gorn attack swiftly, thanks to...
Once you have arrived, Lieutenant Paris will brief you on security measures, but do not rely on her. She is not of the Empire. Remember this. In the face of unexpected challenge, act with resolve, but also with intelligence. Many songs have been sung of Khitomer and its trials, and today may be no different. I will meet you on the ground, and whatever awaits you, face it without hesitation. A member of the Klingon Empire cannot...
Miral, or should I say, Lieutenant Paris.
Doctor, I've missed you. You haven't aged a day.
Well, I am afraid that's how it works. But if it would put you at ease, I can add an aging subroutine to my matrix.
Not on my behalf. You're perfect, just the way you are. Are you part of the President's delegation?
That's right, as the leading expert on species 8472. President Okeg is hoping that sharing our research with the Klingons will make up for our dismissal of the Undine threat. This, and a ceasefire deal, will hopefully lead to lasting peace between our people.
The Doctor pioneered research on the Undine aboard Voyager. It was considered revolutionary, both then and now. It is a pleasure to meet you, especially after your crew's incredible performance in the Khitomer system. I will let you get on with your security tasks and prepare for the conference. Doctor?
We meet at last, face to face. Your name echoes through the Empire's ranks. They say you bow to no one, not even your commanding officer. March, that treacherous Kek got what he deserved. Today the Federation would have us believe we are surrounded by worthier allies. I wouldn't be so sure. Lieutenant Paris will brief you. Make sure she does so reliably. The task at hand is to secure the area and rule out any foul play.
It's nice to put a real face to the name. We need to secure the building. I recommend starting with the courtyard in the next room. Oh, and keep in mind, we're in a melting pot of different cultures and delegations right now, but let's try to...
Ah, hold it right there. Just a moment. Greetings. I am the Emergency Medical Hologram Mark I, but you may call me Doctor. A pleasure to meet you, I am sure. If I may offer a recommendation, while I doubt you will encounter any Undine infiltrators here, you may still find my latest research quite riveting, should you wish to test it out. Here is a parameter you may use to optimize your tricorder 4 species 8472 biosignature detection. The science behind it is nothing short of remarkable. The settings account for polyfluidic.
I'll follow your lead.
The importance of today's conference cannot be overstated. I am grateful for your assistance in orbit. Please, pass my thanks to your crew. The Gorn attack initially appeared to be an attempt at disrupting our conference and taking out Starfleet 1. However, I believe intelligence has details that might contradict this assumption. I am hoping the Klingons will see the value in a ceasefire agreement. I'm no stranger to finding common ground with my...
Ambassador Jiro Sugihara of the Federation Diplomatic Corps. I have to admit that the Klingons were right about the Undine infiltration of the Gorn hegemony, but I don't agree with the war they waged. Diplomacy and peaceful negotiation should come first, always. Anyway, I've been told I should keep my opinions to myself, and even more so if we manage to broker peace. Always looking for trouble, Jiro, even on what could be a pivotal day for our people, you glommer.
I appreciate you doing your due diligence, but my intel is classified, and you don't have clearance from Starfleet intelligence. Enjoy the conference.
Klingon intelligence interrogated Okeg's people before their arrival, with the thoroughness the Empire demands. We believe him and his delegation speak the truth, and that he is a Saurian of honor. He speaks of our late Chancellor Gorkon with reverence, Bak Kaolu. We cannot, and will never, dismiss the threat of betrayal. But our intel suggests the Federation's hands are clean. The scent of treachery points towards the Gorn instead. Well, though no General Chang lurks among our guests today, we have identified a Klingon of interest, an ambassador by the name of B'vat. His reputation has divided our people. Some call him a schemer, others a redeemer. He is here on official duty as the leader of House B'vat. Even so, we'll be watching him.
All right, let's start with this area.
A Klingon in a Starfleet uniform? Just bah!
Pitiful.
Scans are clear. It seems these Klingons have taken note of my appearance. I've never hidden my hybrid nature, as my godfather, the Doctor, encouraged me to be proud of this part of myself and taught me the meaning of self-worth. The truth be told, I'd rather be back on the Belfast right now. I'm chief of security, not a diplomat or an envoy. Still, if my being here helps prove that the Federation and the Klingons can coexist, then all of this will be worthwhile. You know the drill.
Another rebel attack in Klingon space. Reprehensible.
King Slathis does not assent to these renegade acts.
Done. We can check this room off our list. If the Gorn delegation is telling the truth, then the ambush we just thwarted was a rebel attack, and not a revolt instigated by the Gorn hegemony. Still, it seemed very... Running another scan.
I am Ambassador Koss of the Klingon Empire. I wish to meet with the kuvah'magh.
Ah, the kuvah'magh is an ancient myth. Paris is an imposter, a traitor to her people.
Peace with the Federation. Creator vo narde krapu.
All clear. Let's move on. Quite a few opinions floating around today, huh? I say we speed things up and move on to the next room. Fine. You're right. You might know this already, but there's an ancient Klingon religious text that describes the kuvah'magh, or savior, as a figure that will restore the Klingon Empire back to its original glory. Many Klingons believe me to be this kuvah'magh because of the events that occurred in the Delta Quadrant aboard Voyager. My genetic material played a part in helping a group of Klingons. I'm happy to answer any questions about that if you think it's beneficial to our mission. What do you want to know? The prophecy foretells the arrival of a messianic savior, kuvah'magh. It is said that this figure is stronger than sickness itself and destined to heal the Klingon people, leading them to glory. Some even say the Klingons will know the kuvah'magh before the kuvah'magh themselves know the world. A spiritual... What do you want to know? Whereas some Klingons are devoted to the kuvah'magh, others disbelieve the figure's existence. Some even treat these religious texts as unworthy epics or conspiracy theories. Either way, I'm caught in the middle of a divided empire when all I ever wanted was to make the universe a better, more tolerant place. What do you want to know? I was born aboard the USS Voyager, and as I said earlier, the Doctor is my godfather. In 2377, Voyager encountered a group of Klingon pilgrims aboard a D7 class battlecruiser. They were looking for the kuvah'magh because they were dying from a virus called the nehret, which they originally believed to be nothing but old age. In order to save them, the Doctor resorted to using my genetic material to create a cure. Miraculously, it worked. And thus, I became the kuvah'magh. What do you want to know? Tricorder ready.
What weight could a conference possibly hold without the attendance of Jempok? Ha!
Yedoko! Walden is here in his stead. Now is not the time for dissent.
I'm detecting... false alarm. Just some residual readings. Running another scan.
We're all set, my good sir.
I will hold you accountable if this fails. There can be no deviation from the plan. Nach, Lodgman.
Of course. I will not disappoint. We have an agreement after all. Let's disperse.
A Klingon ambassador with a human attendant? I don't recognize the staffer, but I believe that's Ambassador... I don't know about you, but I think I've heard enough. And I trust that our intelligence units will monitor any outliers among the attendees. I suggest we have a look at our scan results instead. My readings are off in this room. This technology doesn't match any known Federation or Klingon designs. Its components are entirely non-standard. What do you make of this data? Huh. Faint traces of Verteron particles.
Cogran, it is simple, I assure you. Undine biology is adaptive, with a morphogenic cellular structure.
I am no scientist, but I do not dispute the utility of weaponry meant to identify and eradicate the Undine.
It's unfortunate we still know so little about them, despite the Doctor's research.
Ah, morale. Your disposition suggests that there were no polyfluidic phase variances to report.
That's correct. No Undine infiltrators, Doctor. But we did find something else. Captain Sean, Captain Coghren, we've discovered an unidentified device in the Hall of Heroes. Its origin cannot be
Kuvah'magh. A wise proposal. The work of the Romulans, no doubt. Or maybe the Gorn. This device cannot be...
I agree. This poses a considerable security risk. However, I'm too optimistic about the turnout of this conference to delay our diplomatic efforts any further. We need to honor our agreement with the Klingons. They will not respect any act that might be interpreted as a display of cowardice. We must stay the course. If Captain Coghren is not opposed, then I propose we beam the device to the USS Belfast for further analysis.
Setting up a containment field, and done. Ready for transport. USS Belfast, this is Lieutenant Paris. We are beaming up an unidentifiable device for analysis. Stand by.
The conference will begin shortly. All attendees must gather in the Hall of Heroes immediately.
Fellow delegations, the Federation is here today to seek peace with the Empire, in the hopes that it will be long-lasting. We believe we have been at odds for too long, and hope to prove today that our worth as allies is greater than our worth as foes. As a first act, we propose a ceasefire, then allying against a common enemy, the Undine. I have with me an expert who will share...
All this talk and no action! Why trust you, okay? Your Federation has already proven it does not respect the Empire! In the case of the Undine imposters in the Gorn hegemony, the Klingons were right all along, yet you failed to heed us.
You are right, and I know that Federation and Empire relations have often been tense, that our history is riddled with mistrust, that you believe we failed you on the topic of the infiltrators in the Gorn hegemony, and that our ways have been human-centric. But like Chancellor Gorkon, this Saurian too believes in the undiscovered country, and has read Shakespeare in the original Klingon. We'd like to start by sharing our classified research with you on the Undine, as a gesture of good faith. Doctor?
Greetings. You may call me the Doctor. It is an honor to speak to such a fine audience. I will be handing out data pads after our speech, so do stick around should you wish to discuss the details. As you all undoubtedly know, with great scientific advancement comes great responsibility. While ethics are not on the agenda, I am obliged to mention the dangers of the technology we have developed and the risk it poses to non-Undine life forms.
The Belfast is transmitting the results of the analysis performed on the unidentified device. It seems it's...
But I digress. To the crux of the matter, I have created technology that pairs modified tricorders with experimental nanoprobes. The tricorders, while still a prototype, detect the presence of Undine biosignatures. The nanoprobes are then... pardon me, my matrix.
Captain Sean, that device disrupts holo-emitter signals. Doctor!
Hegemony! We curse the Empire!
Captain! They've taken the Doctor!
Morale, look out!
Thanks. We need to take down these Gorn and retrieve the Doctor. Now!
Belfast, this is Sean. Kittimer Conference is under attack. Monitor all activity in orbit. No one leaves.
I knew I should have brought some cryo grenades along. We need to take down the last remaining Gorn.
Our warriors have identified additional rebel Gorn on the ground. It won't be long before they reach our location. As for Bavat, the Petach has conveniently beamed up to his vessel. He must have had allies on the inside. Klingons willing to look the other way and smuggle in his devices. Huicha! Or perhaps...
I assure you the Federation has nothing to do with this, Captain Cogran. I can't say the same for Bavat, though. The Belfast has managed to lock onto his ship with a tractor beam. But I'm not
I'm coming with you.
All right, but I know you well, Moral. Get back.
Our warriors have identified...
I assure you the Federation has nothing to do with this, Captain Cogran. I can't say the same for Bavat, though. The Belfast has managed to lock onto his ship with a tractor beam, but I'm not sure how long it'll hold. Our scans show the Doctor is aboard, so we'll need to be careful.
I'm coming with you. We need to retrieve the Doctor. That's non-negotiable.
All right, but I know you well, Moral. Get back in one piece, and no unnecessary risks. That's also non-negotiable. Understood? Cogran and I will stay behind to deal with the Gorn and evacuate the delegations. Belfast, this is Captain Sean. Beam the lieutenant directly to the bridge. Paris, you've got the con.
This is Lieutenant Paris aboard the Belfast. We have a lock on Bavat's ship, the IKS Warvik. Recommend we hail them together before we take any
Noochpo! You dare not fight a real Klingon! Request denied! It would be a shame to return your Doctor so soon. Extracting him from Kittimer would...
My heart is just fine. Bavat has escaped with the Doctor. The Belfast is tracking his ship's ion trail. Time to show these what we're made of. Give it all you got. That was the last of them. Receiving a hail from the Kittimer. I'm opening a multi-channel.
Belfast, this is Captain Cargren. We bested the Gorn. Kittimer is secure. We also uncovered another device mounted to the Federation's podium and neutralized it. The device disrupts photonic emissions and stores holographic data as a containment capsule would. Have you stopped Bavat?
I missed a device, but we scanned the entire area. How is that possible? I increased my tricorder sensor aperture. I ran a multispectral sweep. I even enhanced subspace resolution in...
Steady, Lieutenant. The first device was no doubt a red herring planted in the room to distract us from the second, which in turn was shielded from our sensors by an experimental chronoton-charged cloaking field. That second device was ever so slightly displaced in time. Your tricorder couldn't have picked up on it. It took a whole group of scientists from several different delegations to come to that same conclusion.
Captain, we need to go after the Doctor. The Belfast is tracking Bavat's warp signature, ion trail, and projected course. I've got all the data
What the Belfast needs to do is remain stationed in orbit of Kittimer while President Okeg meets with the Klingon High Council. This attack has led to some very tense exchanges and great mistrust in the Federation and Gorn delegations. Going after the Doctor is too risky. We'll need to send our data over to an experienced strike team and let them handle it.
I agree. Besides, the Doctor is not only one of the most brilliant minds in Starfleet.
I can't argue with that. But for that same reason, I'll need you back in one piece after your mission. I can't lose you too, Lieutenant. The Belfast has to remain to supervise the situation on Kittimer and escort Starfleet 1 back to Federation.
It is a worthy mission to undertake. On behalf of the Klingon Empire, I authorize you to accompany Lieutenant Paris on her quest. Though I remind you that Bavat, despite all of his treachery, is still the head of what some would consider to be an honorable Klingon house. Should you best him in battle, then you will have to decide...
One to beam over. Quite the fine ship you have. Here's the data the Belfast retrieved during our encounter with the Klingons. We've tracked the Warvig to the Hattori system. We've arrived, and in enemy territory, no less. Sensors are picking up on multiple vessels in the area. Klingon patrol ships. Planetary archives also show Hattoria is home to a large nebula and an abandoned facility on the ground. And we can either use the nebula's ionized gas to scatter our ship signal and travel it... We've been detected by Bavat's patrol ships.
Kuvah'magh. You stand no chance against House Bavat, false kuvah'magh.
Nicely done. That's all of them. Let's stay alert going forwards. We're almost within transporter range of Hatoria. Let's move on. We're almost within transporter range of Hatoria. Let's move on. We are within transporter range. However...
Warning, ship is under attack.
As I was saying, the nanoprobes developed to counter the Undine are... Wait a minute. Where am I?
Bajach Emelv, you fool! Sing, the data! Is it ready?
Soon, Bavat. I am extracting the genetic information from the doctor's holomatrix. It'll take some time to bypass his security subroutines.
You know, in some cultures, it is considered ill-mannered to interrupt a sentient life form, especially a brilliant physician. If you're interested, my research paper, The Art of Turn-Taking, a study on conversational analysis in Delta Quadrant species, has...
Hold your tongue, you insufferable projection of wasted photons!
According to the Federation's archives, this facility used to be a penal colony and still houses functional security systems to this day. Speaking of, I'm picking up on a photonic signal that matches the doctor's holosignature, but it's faint. My guess is he's being held in one of the facility's lower levels. Expect a fight along the way. The facility is on yellow alert after our little encounter up in the Hatoria system.
Yinda! The kuvah'magh has arrived! The Kenshi swing them battle.
If my mother taught me anything, it's how to deal with petachpul like you. That was all of them. Maybe we can still stealth our way through this facility. I'll cover you. Lead the way.
Unlock your security protocols and give me the data, Patach!
Ambassador Bavant, this is absolutely ludicrous behavior and very dishonorable, I'll have you know. I refuse to be probed any further. If you have developed a passion for genetics, then I encourage you to conduct your own research. I am sure you will find the funding.
Sing, increase the hologram sensitivity calibrations and bypass safety protocols.
That hurt! This is not how one treats a guest in their repurposed prison. Perhaps it is.
They're hurting him. I'm sending out an electromagnetic pulse to disrupt that console. It'll buy us some time. By tampering with the doctor's sensitivity calibrations, Bavant and Singh are making sure that he feels pain the way a biological life form would. Effectively, they're torturing him. I know Captain Sean said not to take risks, but I'm not sure we've got much of a choice. We need to think of something fast. Not a bad plan. We'll investigate the facility as we head towards the doctor's coordinates. But let's do this quickly. I can't let this go on for much longer. Before you go any further, let's talk about the facility's security sweeps. Some areas of the facility are being scanned periodically by security consoles. Unapproved life forms that come into contact with the scans will likely trigger an alarm, alerting nearby enemies or heightening... Heads up. The area ahead of us is being scanned. My scans are picking up on low-level electromagnetic signals coming from beyond that sweep. Now, what do we have in here? Consoles running on residual power.
Amar Noonien Singh, Research Log, File 13. My first experiment proved unsuccessful. Disappointment. The host biology is highly aggressive at the cellular level and rejecting genetic input. I will adapt my experiments to suppress any existing dominant cells going forward. Amar Noonien Singh, Research Log, File 14. Results are now beginning to show promise, but I fear I might have overcompensated. Rapid mutation has led to instability in the subject genome. To counter this, I plan to create an epigenetic framework with the purpose of culling damaged cells. If we lose a few test subjects in the process, so be it. Amar Noonien Singh, Research Log, File 19. After careful calculations, I have achieved my first breakthrough. Whereas some subjects were unable to withstand further testing, others are now thriving. In particular, Subject GU-75 has impressed Bavant.
They're experimenting on people.
The primary focus of the project is gerontology, the study of aging in various life forms. The Federation Science Council has given me permission to test various forms of genetic modification to find treatments of degenerative diseases such as Irumodic syndrome. We're making significant progress.
Yes. How did Bavant and Singh get their hands on proprietary Federation logs? We can't let them keep this data. We need to destroy it.
It's not a proud moment in Earth's history either. Khan was the greatest of the augmented conquerors in the eugenics wars. He was the ruler of more than a quarter of Earth, and he treated those he ruled like slaves. Unlike some of the other so-called genetic supermen, Khan only enslaved his people rather than massacre them. Some consider him to be the best of the tyrants. A dubious honor, to be sure. Augments like Khan Noonien Singh caused the death of millions. When the people rose up against the augment tyrants, Khan and some of his people escaped into space on a sleeper ship. I suspect you heard a lot about Khan's clashes with Captain Kirk at Starfleet Academy. I remember running the Mutara Nebula simulator in my senior year there. It was a singular experience.
I'm all for eradicating degenerative diseases, but not if it means another eugenics war or the creation of genetically engineered slaves. Singh's plan seems to align more with the latter and not with the Federation's work. My guess is they copied our research, but not our motivations. Looks like a security sweep can be deactivated from that console. Security functionality deactivated. Let's move on. I'm detecting life signs in the room ahead.
Kuvah'magh, Grethor's gate stand ready to welcome you.
A Bavat welcoming committee. That's too kind. Remind me to thank him later with phaser fire. That's all of them. Let's look around for anything that might help us.
Noonien Singh, Research Log File 22. Subject GU-75's DNA has begun to deteriorate after a couple of cycles. All attempts to stabilize the specimen's genetic sequence using molecular templating have failed. I will keep trying. Noonien Singh, Research Log File 28. This will be my last entry on subject GU-75, who has begun to exhibit irrational and aggressive behavioral patterns. The specimen's enhanced strength make it difficult to control. Even the Klingon guards struggle to keep it subdued for testing. I will begin processing GU-75 for termination.
Doctor's Log Supplemental Stardate 86324.7. In preparation for the Khitomer ceasefire conference, I have been reviewing the Undine research stored in my holomatrix. One study from Stardate 51003.7 focuses in particular on the reprogramming of Borg collective nanoprobes for the purpose of destabilizing species 8472 cell structure, thereby neutralizing them. It appears that Seven and I pioneered research on species 8472, and that the Federation was the first and so far only alliance of people able to thwart the Undine. My hope is that we will soon be able to share this research with trusted allies.
I don't think Singh and Bavat are acting on behalf of the Klingon Empire. They must be acting independently. Looks like we can deactivate a security sweep from in here. This room is clear. Another security sweep. We should check this room. Some of these consoles are still active. No doctor in here, but maybe we'll find something that can help us.
Amar Noonian Singh, Research Log File 31. In the wake of Subject DU-75's termination, a new favorite has arisen amongst the augmented ranks. Subject DU-78 is strong, reliable, and obedient, despite the pain it is in. For now.
Doctor's Log Supplemental, Stardate 54518.2. The genetic material retrieved from the unborn Klingon hybrid by the name of Miral Paris, sampled with the consent of her parents, Lieutenants B'Elanna Torres and Tom Paris, has proven a great success. The Klingon pilgrims from the IKS Shan have been cured of their illness. As a result, they now believe that Miral is what they call the kuvah'magh, a legendary Klingon figure who is foretold to heal all Klingons and restore them to their former glory. Quite the legacy to live up to for an unborn child. Miral is doing well. I know that the crew of Voyager will protect her, at least until she comes of age and chooses her own path. I expect there will come a day when the Klingon Empire will inquire about Miral Paris. However, modifying genetic material is a delicate topic, given the historical precedents. The eugenics wars, or the Klingon augment virus, both point toward the possibility of genetic alteration being used for nefarious purposes, such as creating biological weaponry, or even an army.
That must be exactly what Singh and Bhavat have planned, but why? The Klingon Empire already has a capable army. The rest of the log comes as no surprise to me. As I got older, my parents began to share stories from my childhood with me. The tale of the IKS Shan was one of them. You know the drill. That's it. Deactivated. Let's keep moving. Klingon and Gorn life signs up ahead. Prepare for a fight.
Have you come as a sacrifice, kuvah'magh?
Where's Buch? The only thing I'm sacrificing is my time, you useless har.
Glory to the Gorn, and Bavat the benefactor. All shall fall. This is the price.
These Gorn are too far gone and blinded by Bavat's empty promises.
Surrender yourself, kuvah'magh, or prepare to die with dishonor.
That Gorn looks similar to the ones who disrupted the Khitomer conference. Let's press on. I'm sure the doctor is counting on us. Tricorders are detecting a photonic signature further ahead. Lead the way. There are too many security sweeps in this hallway to evade. We have to keep investigating to deactivate them somehow. This console doesn't appear to deactivate the security sweeps, but I see another one. This appears to be a security console connected to an...
The exobiology lab is ready, Bavat. We are only missing the data.
Huicha! How hard can it be to retrieve data from a hologram?
Ambassador, may I remind you that I am the emergency medical hologram Mark I. I served aboard the USS Voyager during
Silence! Do you wish to have your vocal interface deactivated, you insufferable tar? Quiet. Someone is watching.
Miral.
Hello, kuvah'magh.
Damn it, we've been detected. And he's taunting us. We need to come up with a plan. I recognize that tune. It was a song he used to sing to me when I was a child. It was written by the Kolar people and dedicated to the kuvah'magh. The part he's humming is the last stanza. Symbolic of the trap or not, I won't abandon him. There must be something else we can do. Maybe we can deceive Bavat somehow, get him to tip his hand or release the doctor for a price. That might just work. If they're willing to go to these lengths just to retrieve my genetic material, then surely they'd be willing to negotiate. Some security parameters were shut down when Bavat cut the feed. Stay sharp. The area ahead is being scanned. We've been detected. We need to be more careful. The security sweep is active. Watch where you step. We did it! We're in the clear. Let's move on. We still need to get to the lowest level of the facility. This must be the exobiology lab. You know, I minored in biogenetics at Starfleet Academy. Time to put those skills to good use. Creative, but I'm not sure about adding Gorn chromosomal markers. A sample of Klingon polynucleotide clusters. A sample of human genomic base pairs. This mix might just do the trick, at least for now. Time to enact our plan.
The data has almost been decrypted, Bavats. Soon, we will be able to dispose of the hologram.
Miral, what are you still doing here? I mean, a Klingon hybrid I have never seen before.
Don't worry, Doctor. We're here to break you out.
Lieutenant Miral Paris, or should I say kuvah'magh, here to take your friend's place? He's kept your seat warm.
Let him go.
And why would I do that?
Because we have what you need. A sample of my DNA. The missing piece to your scientific puzzle. You're creating an army, right?
I am creating a movement. Soon all will pledge their allegiance to the new Klingon Empire and bow before its ruler.
That's only a fantasy without my DNA, Bavat. I'll give you the sample, if you release the Doctor.
Miral, I strongly advise you do not.
You're bluffing. Hand it to my assistant, now.
Let the Doctor go first.
Fine. Free the captive, Singh. This is a ruse! A counterfeit! Now, Singh!
Let's see how you fare against my latest experiments.
Confirm. Ready.
The Doctor's genetic research will have to do for now. Time is on my side! Can you say the same, kuvah'magh?
We can't let him escape!
Miral,
No! It's too dangerous! I'll go!
I love you, but you've got to trust me. I have to go after him, and you're needed here. You're the galaxy's only hope against the Undine. I don't know where I'm headed, but if I make it, I'll give you a sign. Protect the Doctor. I'll go after Bavat. We'll meet again!
If you handle the fighting, I will search my database for intelligence on the Gorn. Should you require medical assistance, then I will be at your disposal, if you stay alive, that is. I'm a doctor, not a miracle worker. Gorn are ectothermic creatures, and therefore vulnerable to the cold. Use your environment. They are also apex predators, with instinct-driven threat responses. Augmentation has driven these Gorn to insanity. You've weakened them. Keep it up. It's our only chance to make it out alive. What a fight! I was anxious, even as an onlooker. Well done! We've got an unethical scientist on the loose. Where is Singh? I am registering his biosignature, coming from a nearby transporter room.
This is Singh. IKS Warwick. Come in. Anyone!
Not so fast, Singh. The jig is up.
Fine. But if you think apprehending me will have any effect on my plans with Bavat, all of your ruses are pitiful. Your genetic concoction of Klingon and human DNA did not even pass a visual inspection. Do you think Bavat and I cannot recognize a vial originating from our own laboratory? Even your holographic doctor must have realized that. But you are too simple-minded to understand our greater scientific plans. Like an insect waiting to be squashed in the palm of a god. Silence! The kuvah'magh has followed Bavat as intended, and him and I have a deal. He will lead his army, and I will become a renowned ruler. Unlike the rest of the Noonien Singh lineage who have lost their way, I will become the father of a new generation of augments. You, on the other hand, will rot in Aurora Pinte cell once all of this is over. Bavat's means transcend time itself.
I've dealt with my fair share of rude scientists during my time aboard Voyager, but Amar Noonien Singh might just take the cake. Now that this area is secure and our culprit has been caught, I wanted to thank you for coming to my rescue. I know our mission isn't over yet. Bavat is still at large. Yes, he did. Nothing a tricorder scan won't illuminate. Oh my. Your scans reveal the presence of residual chronoton particles. That, my friend, suggests a temporal aperture once existed. I'm afraid it will be difficult to pinpoint on our own. I suggest you report back to your command for now. I am sure the Klingon High Council will want to hear all about this. I can say Captain Shan will be enthused about Miral's disappearance, and I do feel somewhat responsible for that. I'll break the news to him when we return, but I expect he will contact you later. We'll be...
My army promises glory to the Empire and its great houses. A new dawn, a new era for the worthy warrior. Together, we will finally become an empire worthy of Kalesh. We will wipe out the Federation and conquer their people once and for all. Kapla!
Klingon-magh! Klingon-magh! Klingon-magh!
Bavat! Where am I?
The conference did not unfold as I had hoped. Still, I have managed to convince the High Council to consider the provisional ceasefire as we investigate the events of today. Bavat remains at large, and his trail lost to time itself. Despite this, you did well in retrieving the Doctor and bringing Amar Noonien Singh to justice. That spineless Patak is being interrogated by intelligence as we speak. In relation to this, I must also relay a most unusual message from one of our agents. Klingon intelligence has received an encrypted transmission from Lieutenant Paris, addressed to you. The stardate attributed to it is unexpected. When the time comes, I expect you to be ready. Bavat must be stopped.
Congratulations, General.